What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and now we are getting even more brutal details from the behind the scenes, from the reveal, from the Osundario brothers, the ones that were paid to make Jussie Smollett look like some sort of hero, look like he was on the receiving end of one of the worst crimes that can happen in this country, and that is, obviously race-based, type of attacks that we now know, completely faked in exchange for fame, and was completely fine with destroying already, capitalizing on already very tenuous kind of race relations in this country at a time in which, in my life, I don't think they've ever been worse. Well, now the release of Anatomy of a Hoax came out, and we found even more hilarious details we're going to get into after a super quick word from this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2023. If you don't have a VPN, you're missing out on a ton of benefits. Not just a more secure connection, but if you're paying for Netflix, Disney Plus, or any other streaming service, you're already getting locked out of a ton of additional content that you could be enjoying if you used a VPN. And since they've been sponsoring the channel so long, they've rolled out a massive discount for my viewers. That's right, 84% off plus 4 months free. It's $2.03 a month, 4 months free, 84% off. Private Internet Access also offers privacy on all your devices, lightning fast global server network. And look, outside of all the additional content you're going to be able to view out there using Private Internet Access, it also has a strict no logs policy. It's open source. It has state-of-the-art updates. It's instant to set up. You can put it on all of your devices, your tablet, your computer, your mobile phones. It has unlimited bandwidth and so much more. If you don't have a VPN yet, make today the day. Use my link in the description to get Private Internet Access, start being more secure, and unlock loads more content. There's a nice link in the description where you can save huge. So if you don't have a VPN yet, make sure you get Private Internet Access. So the Osundario brothers claim now, this is from this new documentary, that the morning they prepared to allegedly help actor Jussie Smollett stage a incident against himself in 2019, he didn't even bother showing up on time. We made sure to get there at 2 a.m. sharp. We had no phones because he didn't want us to bring any phones, one brother suggested. And do you know why he didn't want them to bring phones? It's because this was premeditated, and he probably knew that cell phone location triangulation could be tracked. And this was him. Again, this is one of those things where I'm not sure if this came up during the trial, but he very clearly planned it, very detailed plan. That's why all this money he's wasting, all this public hullabaloo about, getting his sentence reduced and things of that nature. I know I have very little faith, and many of us have very little faith, including Chicagoans, in the Chicago legal system. But I sincerely hope that he serves at least a couple of months, 3 months. Give him 90 days, period, at least. Yes, did he, was it a terrible, physical type thing? No. But I do think that there needs to be an example set here, that he is not allowed to use his money and clout to manipulate the American people. For all we know, there are so many secondary incidents that may have happened between, let's say, the next time a Black American sees somebody who happens to be wearing a Make America Great Again hat around Chicago. Maybe they're tourists, they probably don't live there, and maybe something happened to them. That's the fire that Jussie Smollett lit. Now, of course, it's Jussie Smollett, but, we got to go with that. Quote, so at 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there on time. So we're like, dang, what do we do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we just waited there for about 4 minutes. And then one brother chimed in and said, but it felt like forever because it was cold as, I believe he says, balls. So I saw him out of the corner of my eye, one brother replied, and I was like, okay, that's him. Let's go. So maybe he was having some last minute kind of, and by the way, this Anatomy of a Hoax thing on Fox, like I think this basically removes all doubt, like all doubt, that this was completely premeditated. This was, of course, this meant this was supposed to happen. So the brothers returned to the posh Chicago block for the first time since that chilly January 2019 morning for a 5-part docuseries. 5-part. One is probably enough. Jussie Smollett, Anatomy of a Hoax, streaming Monday on Fox Nation. In their first extensive interview since testifying at Smollett's trial in 2021, their brothers share exclusive details of their alleged roles in the made-for-TV drama that captured international headlines for years. Their attorney, Gloria V. Rodriguez, is listed as an executive producer. Oh my God. Everyone's getting paid. By the way, these brothers participated in a crime. They took money to perpetuate this hoax. The problem was Jussie Smollett, multi-millionaire, only bothered giving them, I think it was $1,500. That's not enough to keep them quiet. So once the heat got turned on, they immediately turned on him. Which, $1,500 ain't enough to buy silence. Anyway, it continues. As we cross the street, we say, hey, to get his attention. They actually said the word, hey, N-word. He turned around to us, looked at us. And that's when we started yelling the famous slurs that he actually wanted us to yell. Hey, aren't you that Empire F word? The Osundario brothers claimed to the camera crew. So what's hilarious about this is not only is it obviously a hilarious hoax, right? But he never even had to do any of this, right? So he could have just said it happened. He could have just said it happened, but no, he's such a maniac that he had 2 black men approach him and say the scripted lines for reasons. I mean, certainly security cameras would have pictured them as not black, I suppose, unless they covered their faces and skin and arms and hands and everything like that. But that would have been an incredible risk too. And then they even tussled. We started tussling, moving around. Then I pull him to the ground. One brother said he wanted it to look like he fought back. Yes, real heroic. That was very important to him because he said, hey, don't just kick my butt. Make it look like I'm fighting back and whatever. Smollett, who had long proclaimed innocence, didn't participate in the project, which arrives nearly 2 weeks after he filed an appeal challenging his disorderly conduct conviction and requesting a new trial. I don't believe he's going to get a new trial. I think the information is out there, and in fact, it's only gotten worse at this point. And it would be an absolute miscarriage of justice if they just let the guy, appeal, use his money to buy more time, more freedom, and then just say, it's not worth it. Because that's what he wants. He wants the Chicago legal system to say, whatever, it's not worth it. The Fox Nation special rehashes the rise and fall of the actor who had been starring in the hit Fox drama Empire, which followed the exploits of a cutthroat music mogul and his talented family for 4 years at the time of the incident. Here you have them seeing on surveillance video, buying supplies at an Ace Hardware store, paying cash, of course. Like, this doesn't look weird at all. Buying black masks, buying like, nothing going on here. One brother claims that Smollett did not provide a specific motive, but wanted to be the poster boy for activism. His words. The brothers claim Smollett walked them through the plans and accompanied them to the site beforehand. One brother then remarked, yo, this Hollywood stuff is crazy. And this dude, wow, I don't know what the heck he's on, but shoot, we're part of it now. Now it's time to, carry on and follow through with it. Smollett reported, of course, the incident, which never happened, on his way back from a Subway restaurant. He said his attackers yelled these words at him, declared Chicago as MAGA country, and hit him and poured some sort of chemical on him and put a noose around his neck. As police continued to investigate, Smollett sat down with Good Morning America co-anchor Robin Roberts to share his version of the confrontation 2 weeks later. He even went on TV to quadruple down on it. He said, any doubt in my mind, the surveillance image that the police released of 2 persons of interest in dark clothes were the so-called perpetrators. Eddie Johnson, who served as Chicago police superintendent from 2016 to 2019, admitted the docuseries that police had a, quote, better photo of the suspects than the grainy one initially shared, but feared inciting against Chicago's black community. So they had better evidence to solve the crime, and they never even released it. So now in full disclosure, I can say the reason why we wouldn't let them put it out was because it did have a red baseball cap, the police officer said. The red hat was allegedly worn to suggest that it was a Make America Great Again theme, but it wasn't even a Make America Great Again hat. That's a pretty interesting fact, isn't it? I didn't want people to focus on that because it would cause more angst. So now the next day when everybody finds out about it, do you think we'd have some issues in the city? Yes, we would. And by the way, I 100% agree with that. Within days, police determined the men were the Osundario brothers, small-time actors who had worked as background players. In the docuseries, the brothers say they were 100% believable as white supremacists. But one brother recalled the uneasy feeling he experienced on the plane while replaying it in his mind. And when the information police have released to the media about the case, 2 big police officers came up. I went with them. I was like, dang, it's over with. They got me, one brother said. It was like the movie itself. The brothers eventually decided to cooperate with police, and Smollett was hit with 16 felony counts of disorderly conduct for making a false report. He was accused of orchestrating the phony hoax to boost his music and acting career. Don't forget that he also faked a letter that was sent to him. In a shocking move, weeks later, the charges were dropped by Cook County's corrupt attorney, Kim Fox, after Smollett performed some community service and gave up $10K. Johnson said the docuseries that he was also a police recruit in a promotion ceremony when then Mayor Raheem Emanuel, when he heard the surprising development. He was like, super, how the frick did this stuff happen? Johnson recalled Emanuel's alleged response to the news. He said, I know Fox, and I don't have the best relationship, but you and her talk all the time. Did you know? And he didn't even have a clue that she dropped the charges. So, of course, more corruption, right? People don't talk to each other. Of course, he had a brief press conference. After I saw the press conference, I called the mayor. I said, you know what? Game on. Johnson remembered in the docuseries. Fox had recused herself from the investigation after it surfaced that she'd been in touch with Smollett's family. I believe she also called Michelle Obama or something like that, or she called her. In the beginning, Fox and I were in lockstep with this thing. I do think, however, something occurred. Now, what that something is, I really couldn't say. Well, she got paid off, or she got a call from somebody, or something like that. Before adding what those reasons are, I don't think we'll ever really know. Talking about this corrupt attorney Fox letting him go. Maybe she didn't like Trump either. I mean, it was either politically motivated or all this stuff. This is going to be an interesting docuseries to watch and follow through. This new information, of course, is hilarious. And I hope he serves every day of his, this is in his latest appeal filed this month. He claims his double jeopardy rights were violated. I 100% believe that Jussie will be able to rebound from this situation, one of the Osundario brothers said, as he reflected on the 4-year drama. I wouldn't be surprised if he's thinking about running for political office. This is America. Anything is possible. Well, he's certainly not wrong. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to check out private internet access, and we'll talk to you again real soon.